At the ass crack of dawn, I was woken up to the sound of knocking at my front door. At the time, the only person I could think who would be crazy enough to come knocking at my door was Kyle. Also, I had no real friends in the town. Oh god, no. Not Kyle. Not this shithead again! I grabbed the bat Kyle had left behind earlier, and I went to the door, slowly turning the knob. I swung the door open and I swung the bat at whoever was standing in front of me before caring to look. I was assuming it was Kyle, don't judge me. Zach half-heartedly caught the bat in his hand, eyebrows raised, not flinching for a second.
What the hell are you doing?
He said. I laughed nervously, realizing that I could have hit Zach, even though he could have caught the bat and killed me with his eyes closed and his hands tied. Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you were Kyle. You remember, the psychopathic and mentally disturbed Afghanistan war veteran and ex-school bully? I apologized.
Yep.
Why are you here this late?
I couldn't risk anyone overhearing our conversation. There's something very, very important I need to tell you.
I raised my eyebrows. You're gay?
No, what the hell? Oh, and I also need your help with something. An hour ago, my offshore contact told me they were picking up something huge 100 miles offshore. Their seismic readings indicate whatever was moving was huge. Absolutely goddamn enormous. Probably bigger than 2 miles. Bigger than the fucking Titanic.
I said. Zach, I think it's time I told you something.
What?
Yeah, this may take a while. So instead of standing in my doorway at 6 a.m., you want to come in? Drink some coffee or some cheap whiskey?
Sure.
Zach came inside my house, and he sat down on my recliner as I continued. So, about a month ago, a classified government-funded submersible discovered a giant decapitated reptilian creature lying at the bottom of the ocean called the Leviathan. I think that 2-mile-long creature is what killed the Leviathan. Zach laughed.
You thought we didn't know about that? We discovered the carcass weeks before the city did. You know, the unspecified and extremely dangerous monster hunting organization I'm a part of is very, very well informed about cryptid activity. Also, how did you know about this?
This is great. Moderately so. What do you know about the Leviathan?
Well, for starters, it's 1,000 years old, making it the oldest living creature we currently know of. We think the Leviathan is an ancient mosasaur subspecies called Hyanosaurus. It probably survived by staying in warm water pockets and feeding on unknown superprotein organisms that allowed it to reach an enormous size.
Okay, but why did you come to my house in the middle of the night?
Oh, yeah. Anyways, the enormous creature is heading deeper in the direction of the deep Pacific Ocean, somewhere a few hundred miles away from us. Now, that's a long way away from here, but this entity can move 200 kilometers per hour. Well, I have to ask you something, Roger. You're a marine biologist, right?
I stammered. How did you...
That doesn't matter. I may regret this, but we'll probably need your help later. You know, identifying the monster and the sea life and all that nerdy shit. Also, we hacked into your computer and found giant mosasaur found deep Pacific Ocean dark web. And is Obama Chinese in your search history?
What the hell? Most importantly, who's we? I asked.
A group of cryptid monster hunters. You know, living rugged, hiding from the cops, collecting guns and shooting shit up.
Isn't that what people in the hood do?
Ignoring that? Well, for starters, we try to lower the cryptid population, because, you know, this town is full of goddamn cryptids. We also work around the country and worldwide. If you want to know more.
Zach was cut off when we both heard a baby crying right on the other side of the window.
Don't move an inch,
Zach whispered. Now, another thing I probably forgot to mention is that behind my backyard there is a dense patch of woodlands that leads into a very large wilderness that stretches on for miles and miles. This will be important later on. Out of nowhere, Zach pulled out a very large black revolver. But this pistol looked different. For starters, the barrel of the gun was transparent and long, and situated in the far back of the barrel was what appeared to be a very small marble-like black object attached to a large bullet. The crying continued, and whatever was making it was concealed under the curtains that were tightly shut.
Stay very, very still,
Zach said as the crying grew more frequent and louder. I was about to ask something, but I didn't have the chance because the crying came to an abrupt stop. In an instant, an enormous pale skinny arm with fingertips that ended in massive claws shot through the window, breaking the glass. Then, the arm recoiled, and an enormous creature climbed through the broken window and into my living room. I'd say it was about eye level with Zach. It resembled a skeletal deer with bits and pieces of flesh hanging from its bones. Its long arms went well past the creature's knees. And instead of a normal deer head, the creature had a deer skull situated on top of a bony neck. All I could think of was to say, "Holy fucking shit, is that a deer?" Zach sprang into action and he ran up to the creature and fired a bullet into the creature's skull, just missing its brain if it even had one. The creature stared at the bullet in its skull, and after a second, it began moving towards us, growling. "What the hell is that supposed to do?" I screamed. Zach just smiled.
Watch.
Right when the creature was no more than 4 meters away from us, the top of its head exploded, sending brain matter, blood, and skull fragments everywhere. The decapitated creature shook, then it fell over. I sighed. "You mind telling me what the hell that was?" I asked, even though I had a good guess on what the creature was. I was rather well acquainted with cryptids.
Wendigo,
replied Zach.
They're not actually true Wendigo. They're tall deer. And sometimes not deer, but most people get them confused. So I call them Wendigo as a general overlapping term, since true Wendigo are so rare. They sometimes travel in packs, so you better get the fuck out of here. More will be coming. Don't worry about me. I've dealt with these things before. Just come back after a while, since we still need to talk. Much easier for me when I don't have to worry about somebody nearby, said Zach, reloading his pistol and pulling out his signature hunting knife. "Okay, but replace my windows and other shit you break," I said, and I sped off in my shitty pickup truck as I heard several more gunshots from my backyard.